So what do you include in your inventory and appraisement? And if you're struggling with how to respond to this very complicated request for information from your attorney or from the other side's attorney, the things that generally have to be included are broken down into separate property, property that you owned or your spouse owned before the marriage, received during the marriage as a gift or inheritance, or received as some sort of personal injury, or a business. Here's an example. If you have a business that is driven heavily by your personality, by your business goodwill. An example of that's very common these days is when female business owners have little boutiques, salons, what have you. The customer base is driven to them because of their personality. That could be a separate property asset. A business that you started out of high school that you have worked up into started with a lawnmower in the back of your truck and worked it up into a large-scale landscaping service with a number of teams. That is potentially an asset that is separate property, right? That's because it's based entirely on the goodwill of the person who drives that business. So, other things, community property. All property obtained during the marriage is presumed to be community assets. Things that are bought during the marriage with income from the marriage, most assets are going to be community assets. And there's some rules to that. You can try and trace to its origin the funds that were used to purchase what is presumed to be a community asset. Oftentimes this is a house or some other substantial asset. And if that tracing can be accomplished to its origin, you might be able to establish that is not a community asset. That is on the that falls to the person trying to prove that fact. It's not the other party's job to disprove it. It's the party who is saying, this is my separate property asset. They need to supply in their inventory and appraisement the documents that support the tracing to origin of where those funds came from, that they were separate property funds that originated into the purchase of this asset. So, and then generally, that way, each spouse can have a full and accurate presentation of separate property, community property, and in that are all debts, liabilities, right? What's owed on the cars, what's owed on the house, what tax liability may there be? Was there some sort of very common one, especially last year or this year because of the pandemic, is what impact would there be on tax liability because of borrowing against retirement accounts, 401ks, things of that nature. So I hope this has been helpful and instructive. Please like, subscribe, share. Questions or comments, chat at ashmorelawfirm.com. Chat at ashmorelawfirm.com. Thank you.